This is weird. Hey mamas, welcome to day 18 of our 25 Days of Christmas series. Today we're going to be talking all about arts and crafts supplies. We are doing a series right now on non-toy gifts for kids, and these are some of our favorites.
So everybody knows the common Play-Doh, but don't forget that there's a lot of things you can make with Play-Doh and let it dry out, and it turns into like a sweet little memory, and you could have the kids take a picture with it and then dispose of it, but it's just nice that they actually can make something out of it. Like it can turn into a flower. We actually put them in these little rocks, and it just turned out as like a cute ornament. So we have several of these, and then we added this as like 3 rocks. It was supposed to be like an earthy look. Along with that, if you want them to actually stay really well, you can always hot glue gun it. And that leads me to make sure you have a hot glue gun. I feel like as our kids are getting older, I'm okay with them using it on their own. So our 10 and 8-year-old are completely on their own with using it. I'm obviously still in the room, and our 5-year-old can do it with supervision. But it's a really, really fun thing to use because you could also make so many other things. Like you can create bows and a bunch of different things with ribbons. The kids can create cards using a bunch of different supplies like glitter glue, calligraphy pens, or even these awesome little hole punch that create different shapes. So we have heart, and this one's a Christmas tree because they wanted one for Christmas, and we have a whole set of these, and it's different shapes. So it's just a really nice way to kind of let them go to town on a craft that they want to create with all these different tools.
Another supply that we really love is window markers. They wipe off super easily and they keep the kids entertained for a really long time. But recently she introduced me to window crayons, and these are so satisfying to write with. I don't know what it is, if it's the texture, but they show up a lot brighter than the window markers, and you can just create some really pretty art with these.
It kind of feels like an oil pastel but on windows instead, so it's super smooth, and that actually leads to oil pastels. If your kids do not have these, definitely get them. We got little art books for our kids, that way they can actually use these to create their own drawings in it, and it keeps everything contained. And the reason I point that out is if you let them just draw on random papers, it does get a bit messy, and so having a notebook where all their oil pastel art is just keeps it all contained and not messy, and it doesn't get everywhere.
Next we have scissors, but these are not ordinary scissors. These are scrapbooking scissors, and so you have different shapes. So you can see here this one is in the shape of a squiggly line, and they have zigzag scissors, and you can just buy a kit with a bunch of different cuts or patterns on them.
There is also face paint. Obviously you can tell my kids love this. We have one for each child. That way we don't have to worry about like one child using all the purple and the other child getting upset with they used all the purple. So it's easier for them to just each have one, then they're responsible for their own item. It also comes with stencils. When they're bored, it's a fun thing for them to do on each other, and then it's super easy to wash off with a wipe or obviously with the regular water and soap. And did you notice it comes with 2 different glitters? I mean, seriously, what little girl would not be excited about putting this on their face?
Just a side note for this, make sure you look on Amazon to check reviews, because some of these face paints are really hard to wash off, and that is not fun for anyone when your kid is crying because you can't get like the blue paint on their face and you need to go outside like to the grocery store. So check reviews before you buy face paint.
Yes, and make sure that they are soft enough. Like if you see the actual texture, they kind of feel like makeup in terms of like when you touch them, they actually feel smooth enough to go on nicely. And don't forget, that's the same for oil pastels. Both of these actually come in a very, very like hard texture, and it's really hard to work with either of them. So make sure that they are soft enough, so check your reviews. We're also gonna try to link these down below so you can see which ones we actually have used, and we've gone through a few of them.
Another favorite in our house, which I don't have on me currently, are tattoo markers. These are really fun because they're non-toxic, so they're safe, and they actually stay on your skin for a couple washes. So if you don't want it to last a while, then I would not recommend using them, but they are really fun and the kids use them all the time.
So make sure they don't get it on their faces.
Yes, because it does not come off easily. We learned that the hard way. Next we have play foam. This stuff is really good for kids who like sensory play. It is really squishy and you can mold it to whatever shape you want it to be. My kids like to mold it into like different like food items, then they pretend to serve it to me, and it's really cute. You can make animals out of it. There's some examples of shapes on the back, and you do have to keep it in a Ziploc bag or something airtight so it does not get like hard, because the fun of it is being able to like squish it and the texture. And so just make sure that when you buy these, you store them in an airtight container.
And we actually have kept ours for months. It didn't even dry. We actually had to dispose of ours, and we're getting new ones because they actually ended up getting gunky. So obviously like hair gets attracted to them and lint and things like that. But they're only $1, so it's a quick and easy, cheap replacement. And this is a perfect stocking stuffer, which look out for a video because we're also going to do a video just on stocking stuffers. Let's chit chat about this. This is Kinetic sand. It is seriously amazing. It feels so good. It's basically soft and gooey, but doesn't get stuck to your hand, like barely. You just shake it off and you're done. It basically controls the mess, because obviously ain't nobody want to let their kids play with sand in the house, and if you do, you're awesome. But it is just seriously amazing. It comes with glitter in it, and it comes in tons of different colors and different kits that have like different toys that it can come with.
This is also really good for those kids who like sensory play.
Or for moms who just like having fun with their kids. Don't forget Dab and Dots. These are fun for older and younger kids. I love using them during school with our kindergartner, but my older ones still ask for different like crafts that they can do with these. It's always nice to throw them on the table when it's craft time, and then I feel like they still use them. It's basically like a dot marker, so even if you play bingo, this would be like the perfect solution, and it just kind of like stamps like a circle. Everyone's familiar with packing peanuts, but did you know that they actually come as a craft for kids? So you might be thinking, okay, your kids might be bored with actually just playing with packing peanuts. These are super unique. You actually can wet them and then they stick together. So notice they don't stick together, and then once I get them wet, look, now they stick together. And then they harden, and you can create like a tree with it. You can create flowers with it. There are so many options. This is hours of fun. So you don't dip these in water. You basically do like a wet paper towel. It comes with a little thin sponge. You just dab it on there, and then they stick together.
So those were our favorite art supplies. If you have any more that your kids really enjoy using, please drop them down in the comment section below.
And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for our daily December videos.